on, let's go outside, let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see, a big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi everybody and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker and I have a wonderful guest with me today, of whom I am in great respect. I tell you, this is Betty Casey. She is an artist and a writer. She has a couple books out. I just can't believe everything that you do.
Oh,
now you're from Tulsa, right?
Yes.
And this is your lovely Rabble-Doodle. Are you a Rabble-Doodle? Yes, you are. She says, no, I'm a very kind doodle.
She's a doodle.
Yes, she is a doodle. A lab and doodle cross, which is absolutely has worked with her.
Yeah,
and
she's
so
great.
tell me about her. Where did you get her?
Well, actually, we had a Basset Hound, and he was 14. He died, and my daughter wanted another dog, so I said, no, we can't get another dog. So she started looking at the animal rescue site, and we actually adopted her from Animal Rescue Foundation when
Well,
she was 3
that's
months
quite a
old.
switch from a Basset to a doodle.
But she's been a great dog.
Oh,
yeah.
they are. Now, did you rescue her as a puppy? Was she a pup? Or?
Yes, she was 3 months old, and she had a brother who was actually white, more of a white color. But
Did they tell you anything about how the dogs wound up in the shelter, or did they?
They did not, and I think that's sort of what they do. They typically don't tell you the background of the dog, so I don't know how
Yeah,
she
see,
ended
and
up
this is
there.
with a lot of dogs that are rescued, it is an X factor.
Yes.
But you know, you can't go wrong with this kind of combination.
Yeah, and she's been so loving, and she's been such a great addition to our family. I mean, I can't imagine not having her. She's just
And
been
she does
great.
tricks. She does all
Yes.
kinds of tricks, and she's a sweet girl. Now, how old is she now?
She's 8.
She's 8 years old.
Yeah.
So you've had her from a pup. Well, that's excellent. Well, obviously, she's been so well cared for, and we appreciate that. We have made her the Dog of the Week. We are going to give you a $100
thank
gift
you.
certificate to A1 Pet Emporium.
That's
and
great.
while you are in town, Jean can take you over there. There's one in Edmond. It's an outstanding pet store.
Oh, I'm excited.
And buy her a lot of good things. And I have a sack full of goodies for her, too.
Oh, you were so sweet.
Well, we appreciate you bringing her on and coming on. It is an honor for us. And by the way, we're going to go see Ted McGuire because he's going to talk to us about your books.
All right. Thank
Let's
you
do
so
it.
much.
All right, Pat, this is May Finds Her Way, and Betty, this is her first book, and it's about the Iditarod. And I didn't know much about it, but Pat told me about it, if you want to come on over here.
Sure, I'll bring
I didn't
Betty
know
with
much
me.
about the Iditarod, but
I
has to do
bet
with...
she knows even more.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about May and how she finds her way?
Well, this book...
Without spoiling.
I don't want to spoil the plot. This book came... I got the idea for it because a couple of years ago, a dog named May was lost during the Iditarod, and I saw a few little news clips about it, and I thought that would be a really cute children's book. So I just sort of used my imagination and you know, went from there. But that was sort of the impetus for the story.
So based on a true story.
It is
But
based
let's
on a
talk
true
a little
story.
bit about the Iditarod because there are a lot of people who do not know about it. These sled dogs who are bred in Alaska, this is the area that you did shoot it, and it is about a 1,500-mile trip.
Yes, it's
that
all the
these
way
dogs
across
take.
Alaska.
All
yes.
the way across. It goes from Nome to
Anchorage, yes.
Exactly. So these little dogs are bred for this,
Yes.
and they start out fairly young in the pack on the sled, and they kind of learn from the other dogs. But it is a very severe climate. It's not easy. These dogs sleep out.
strenuous.
It's very strenuous. So, how did you do your research for this?
You know, I just read as much as I could about the Iditarod, and I looked at a lot of pictures to get the flavor of it because I've actually never been to Alaska. But you know, I think that's what books can
It's
do.
beautiful, I may tell you. You need to go. They have tours that go up by
Well,
there.
you know, as a child, I was always interested in Alaska. I was interested in totem poles, and so it sort of fit a lot of my interests that I had growing up. And you know, you have that feel of the wild. And
Yeah, and
vast
that basically is it, because the natives of this particular area, you know, grew up in the same kind of climate. So
Yes.
the thing is that they needed a kind of conveyance to go from one place to the other. The hunting there was slim. It's not exactly a forest through there. So they had to use these dogs, and they bred them. The dogs, you know, were so much a part of their survival.
They were like working dogs on a farm. They were working dogs in the ice.
Exactly.
And they helped people. It was transportation.
It was transportation, and as I say, they're part of their survival, their way of living through there. And we have so many stories of other books that talk about dogs that have journeys like this and the things that can happen to them. They actually can become the other animals in the area actually can become part of their socialization. We have seen them with the great white bears who come through there.
Right.
You know, the Arctic bears. We have seen them in all kinds of. They do PBS series about this sort of thing. So it is fascinating that they pull this sled. They pull an enormous amount of weight. All dogs pull together. This is like horses who are, you know, in a group pulling.
And it's a team.
It's a team. It is basically a team, which is so wonderful.
And that is one of the themes, I think, in the book, is that you don't do things alone. The little dog gets help and learns from the other dogs, which they really do.
Exactly.
So that was part of this.
And
the camaraderie.
Yes, exactly. And they have through here, there are some animals that help him guide his way. And they're throughout the book. I love that because it's bringing in the other humanity sort of thing of the dogs with the animals, with the goats, with the moose, you know, with all of this.
And it's a wonderful story, but the illustrations are so great.
Oh, this is
They are just
me.
wonderful.
Just thrilled me. And so where can we? You've got a new book.
And
though.
the
Let's
new
talk
book
about
here.
this one.
This one just came out. This is obviously has sort of a deserty theme, and I made it really hot. The colors in this.
Going from the cold to the hot. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. This one is a little bit more of a fun story. I call it a dramatic irony for toddlers. You know, they have to. These animals find this hat. It blows like a tumbleweed off a rancher's head, and they have to. The different animals try to guess what it is. They think they know. You know, the bird thinks it's a nest. The coyotes think, oh, that would be a good place for my pups to have a den. You know, the dog thinks it's a toy, so they all say, I know what that is, I know what that is, and then the goat is this sort of star at the end.
Oh yeah, see, and there again, this is what I loved about it because you integrated all the animals. Well, where can we get these books?
Well, these are from my publisher's Roadrunner Press, so you could go to their website and find out more about Roadrunner Press, which I love, indie press in Oklahoma City. But you can find them on Amazon, Best of Books in Edmond, I think.
Fantastic.
At Barnes & Noble, Full Circle.
Sounds like everybody wants
indie
them.
bookstores.
And guys, we highly
Downtown.
recommend them. This is not only beautiful, and you can see from the cover, it's just unbelievably beautiful.
Great to read
but
with
the
kids and
stories are
family.
great too. So be sure and do that. As I say, from time to time, Ted and I are going to recommend them. We give her the Hero Award. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to some more heroes who are trainers.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Welcome back, folks, and today we have our Dog Talk Trainers Forum. Welcome, guys. Everybody remembers Kathy. How are you today?
I'm much better than last time, thank you,
Good.
Pat.
I mean, flu's going around.
It was just laryngitis.
I thought it was very courageous that you came out that day. Annabelle, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. And Angie,
I'm
doing
good,
well?
thank you.
Okay, well, of course, everybody knows that these ladies are here because they are authorities on dog training. Of course, I always say everybody is a dog trainer.
Yes.
If you own a dog, every day you're teaching that dog something about himself, something about the world around him, and something about you. So you ought to make it good. Every once in a while I get questions, and I have kind of made a list of the questions that I get most often from viewers asking for training tips. So I'm going to throw them out there, and my first one is, like digging. Who would like to discuss digging?
I'll talk about digging.
Okay, let's talk about it. What happens? Dogs go out in the backyard and they dig, or what?
They sort of do. Dogs tend to dig because they're bored. But there are some breeds who are more inventive about digging, such as terriers and dachshunds, because that's their nature. That's what they want to do.
True. Go to ground dogs.
Go to ground dogs, and they're wonderful pets, but sometimes they get very excited about this digging stuff. So what I suggest to people is to give them a place of their own to dig, and that involves getting some wood timbers or some railroad ties, digging up some ground, and then adding some very soft dirt to that. Then put something special in there, a bone, dog biscuits, take the dog over and show it that that's its place to dig.
Ah, perfect.
And they will do that, and I can tell you from personal experience, they will do that.
You know, and I have known too that people will tell me that they did that kind of thing, given them the advice by a good trainer, and that their dogs actually hide some of their toys there.
Yeah. That's the whole idea. Then they aren't hiding it in the middle of your yard. The other problem you have sometimes is that if you have dogs that are very intent, the squirrels tend to bury pecans and acorns in your yard. That is more difficult to stop. But mostly it's because the dog is bored and doesn't have anything else to do.
So that would be a great suggestion, would be wonderful. Okay, what about barking? Anybody want to address the barking issue?
Well, I have some barking dogs.
Okay, well tell me about it.
Well, you know, most of the time dogs bark because they're bored. They're not socialized well enough, so they see people and things going outside their fenced yard. They're lonely. Some are prone to be barkers, which my corgis are a little more prone to barking. And most of the time people wait till it's excessive. And then what do I do? And it takes a little different technique. In the beginning, if you teach your dog to bark on command, then you can teach it to stop barking on command.
Excellent.
But when it gets to the point that it's just bark, bark all the time, then you have to go to some alternate things, such as I use a plastic bottle with beans in it, and I will smack the bottle on my hand, or I'll get a loud clap. You never can shout over barking dogs, no matter what.
That's true.
So you do something to distract them, and you give them a word, and I use enough. It can be quiet, shush, something like that. And as soon as they hear this other noise, they stop, and then you give them the word. Then you praise them when they're quiet.
Exactly.
When they're quiet. Now my corgis have learned 1, 2, 3, bark quiet, enough, and they will kind of go 1, 2, 3, or am I going to say stop? And sometimes I need to be alerted, and sometimes I don't. But I use a sound distraction, a hand on a desktop or
and
something.
I think that works really well too on different things. A lot of people will get a tin can and
Yes,
put
it's the same
tape
thing
over
as
the bottom of it with some kernels of
Exactly.
corn or pebbles in it. It works well for like dogs that get into garbage. If you walk up behind them. Exactly, exactly. So it works beautifully. Good advice. Okay, so another one which is a biggie is dogs jumping up on people. What do you think, Annabelle?
Well, I've had a jumper, a real good jumper that was spring-loaded, so I have a lot of experience with it personally. I think that dogs jump because they want to be social. They want to get to the person. So I try to use that motivation to reward and to stop the behavior. And so I have the dog on a leash, or have the client have the dog on a leash. And when the dog has all 4 feet on the ground and is somewhat calm, then the person may pet them. If they start to jump up, since you have the leash, you can hold the leash to keep them from jumping up, the person moves away. So they learn real quickly that if I want to be petted, I have to have my feet on the floor, and I have to be somewhat calm, and then the person comes back. When I jump, they go away.
Exactly, and it makes good sense. I have a pointer who, when I'm feeding them in their feeding pens, this pointer bounces up off the ground. He comes into inside of his pen, and if I approach with food and he does that, I back off. So he goes, well, look, that didn't work.
Right.
So you do it again, they jump, you back off. Just say, when you are doing what I would like for you to do, you will get rewarded.
That's right.
In this instance, it would be a very, very big reward. Food is always good.
It's a huge one.
So what do you feel about positive reinforcement?
I think it works.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think that you can train a dog totally with positive reinforcement. But I am a firm believer that food will get you everywhere.
What do you think, Kathy?
I love it. It's positive, and then a good verbal cue, and then the food, so they're not expecting the food right away. I have all kinds of thoughts about it. There are sometimes I use off, and I just kind of go like this,
Exactly.
and then when the dog is behaving. But many times people reward the dog at the wrong moment with the food, thus reinforcing the negative behavior.
And that can
And that's
happen.
where we come in as trainers
Exactly.
to
For
train
goodness
that owner.
sakes, people, take heed, because go to a trainer to get some of these things taken care of. Now, I want to talk about collars. Can we do that?
We sure can.
Let's go do it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to discuss collars, good, bad, and not so good or not so bad. What is acceptable?
Whatever helps you maintain control with your dog. It varies, but my acceptability level is a regular flat collar, whether it be a buckle, a quick release, or whatever.
Exactly.
Any dog can learn to walk on a good flat collar.
Yeah, and we had one of those here that we can talk about. We have several, and this was a wide collar. I like a wide collar for the bigger dog. You know, anything more narrow.
Do you have a buckle one, or
She has-
We have them too, where they're the actual
The
slide-through
actual-
buckles.
Exactly, the buckles.
You have a quick release. She has the quick release. They're a little different
So
types.
why do we like the quick release?
Well, the quick release can be opened very quickly when you need to get a collar off a
An
dog.
emergency, something like
Right.
this, it
But
really...
you have to remember, sometimes they don't hold.
Mm-hmm.
So quite often when we have one like that, then we use just a thin loop collar to go with this, so it's a safety.
Safety.
Buckle collars still come undone sometimes, but
And they wear a lot, you
yes,
know,
they
that's
do.
the thing,
Yes, they
a
do.
leather collar. Angie, the difference between a leather collar and one of these?
Well, convenience is probably one of them. Leather collars last longer, I think. People like these because they can throw them in the washing machine if they get dirty, and they like the fact that they can come in all different colors.
Right.
And it's kind of a fashion thing for some folks. This one does too. I will tell you that I much prefer these metal
Yes.
clasps as opposed to the plastic ones, because a strong dog in an emergency situation will get out of those.
We'll break it,
They
exactly.
will break them, and it's tragic when they do.
Okay, Annabelle, the chain collars, pull up a couple of those. One of the thicker ones and one of the thinner ones.
There's the thick one.
Yeah, there's the thick one. Now, the way we use this collar, and here's the thing that disturbs me about chain collars. Can you hand me the larger one? Show me how to put this together to use it. People get them backwards
All the
sometimes.
time.
All the time. And this really disturbs me, because you don't do yourself any good, you don't do the dog any good. Let's clip this on here, and yeah, go ahead and put it on. Now, so what happens is
This is the correct way.
This is the correct way to do it. It slips, it let go, it slips and let goes. So what is show me what happens when you do it the wrong way.
Backwards?
Yes.
The dog is almost always on your left, or they should be. Then the leash, the collar hangs up, and it doesn't release when you let go. It gets caught.
It gets caught, especially if you have a dog with a lot of hair. This is what I don't like about them.
Yeah.
So Annabelle, what is the difference between one that's this wide and one that's that narrow?
Well, this real narrow one here would be for a smaller dog.
Yeah, but the chain links themselves?
Doesn't make a whole lot of difference most of the time.
Okay, I think it kind of does in a lot of situations. In the hands of someone who doesn't know, and a dog that has really long hair, like a Saint Bernard, you know, it catches, exactly. So show me, Angie, pick this one up with the evil-looking one.
Which evil one? This evil one?
There are a lot of evil ones.
Do not do this at home. Get professional help before you start using a collar like this.
This is called a prong collar.
We call this a pinch collar,
Exactly.
a prong collar.
Yeah, show them if we can. Can we get a picture of this close-up of...
It looks awful, okay? It really does. However, when we're training, we put them on people and we show them the difference between a collar like this with a correction and a collar like this with a correction.
so they can feel the
They can
prongs.
feel the difference. The dog makes the correction in this case.
So slip that on her and let's see what
We
we do
will
here.
slip this on her.
Okay, how do we slip it on them?
I
so
slip
the
them
prongs
on
are
on the outside.
Outside.
Then I simply turn it over so that they're on the inside, and fasten the leash.
Exactly. So there you have it. Now, what people can use this? Annabelle, if you were going to recommend it, which I know that most of you don't, what would it be? Where would be a situation where you would recommend it?
Maybe someone that was older or had bad shoulders, something where the person really had a huge dog.
Exactly.
But
And this is, and why it is, I don't know, but some senior citizens will get a big dog for some reason or another, and getting pulled over for a senior citizen, breaking something would be horrible.
And the dog getting loose also.
Getting loose. Now, what is this?
This is another kind like this, but as you can see, it doesn't appear to be anything more than a regular collar.
So this is cheating.
No, it's power steering.
When this is custom designed like this, the part that catches the dog at the thorax has been removed.
Exactly.
See, there's pieces that are not
show,
here.
Show this, because this is very important.
And you can snap it on.
Let's show the difference here, because it is. And this is one that I would recommend for older senior citizens and people like that. It's not as severe as the other. You can't make mistakes so much with that one this one that you can with that one. So let's slip that one on her and see. It doesn't go over her head. It goes like a normal collar, and it is very, very easy. I recommend these for people who are senior citizens, because it helps them. Okay, so what is a third collar over there? Annabelle.
This one is you might want to talk about this one, Annabelle.
That one's a martingale. Is that a martingale?
This one's not a martingale.
What is that one?
It's a half choke with half leather and half chain.
Yeah. So do we have one that's larger over there? The black one, is that one over in the...
This one? Oh, yeah, this is a nice one. But this was one that you have to size before you put over the dog's head, then resize it after you get it on the head, because they're not supposed to close tight like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still supposed to be like so.
Yeah, so those slide easily over her head. There's no prongs there, but you have this.
But if it closes all the way like that, you'd want to make the collar slightly smaller once it's on the dog.
So the dog could get its head out of there. Ladies, this has been so informative, and I appreciate it so much. You guys are high five on getting the word out. High five, Annabelle. Thank you so much. So much. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to having you back again, and we'll discuss some more important facts.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Boy, something really smells like meat cooking here.
Well, we are cooking meat, Pat. You know, this time of the year, our dogs don't run around as much, get as much exercise, so we'd like to cut down a little bit on their carbohydrate intake, do a little bit more increase on protein. So we're going to use our good old George Foreman and do a little bit of chicken, which is probably our leanest meat for proteins. We're going to double the protein up today by doing some hard-boiled eggs and some vegetables with some carrots and some peas and a little bit of rosemary.
Fantastic. And we're making this so that Micah from Underdogs has brought us Rufus, and Rufus says he smelled something good. This
Absolutely.
is Rufus' foster mom. Now tell us about, as we know, folks, dachshunds have a predisposition for a spine problem, and a lot of the times when they get help and they get it done correctly, it really makes a difference. A lot of times it doesn't happen. People don't recognize it until the dog is in so much pain that it drags its back legs. So tell me about Rufus, Micah.
Rufus came to us through a Facebook ad. Somebody was looking for a new home for him. They made it quite clear that they wanted to have somebody taking him in immediately. Otherwise, he would have been put to sleep.
Put down, yes. So this just proves that, you know, that These wheels work beautifully. He gets all over the room. He ran
He
all over this
does.
studio today.
He does.
And he wants to go again. He thinks it's a race. Well, we thank you so much for bringing him on. And as a matter of fact, I have a $250 donation to give to you,
Thank you so
for
much.
Underdogs,
Thank
and
you.
you keep me advised. Now, let's talk about some food for Rufus. Sherry, what do you got?
Wonderfully go along with the more protein this time of year, since dogs aren't as active with our weather. We're going to offer a variety of vegetable-based products to clean their teeth, lots of odds and ends in reference to higher protein products. We're going to offer a variety that we've baked ourselves and a variety canned form. So everything's going to be absolutely allergy and protein related.
And protein. Let's see if this is cool enough for Rufus to take a bite here and see what he thinks. Going to test your food, Bill.
All right.
Rufus.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, success.
I believe you're a
Success.
hit. I believe you are. So in this one, we've got carrots, we've got peas you can mix with it, we've got eggs, and this, of course, allergies too. We have the most allergy-oriented place in the country, I think. Oklahoma just has this for people and for dogs. I noticed you had some things up here, Sherry.
You bet. Well, you know, it's environmental half the time. It's in our homes, the toxins we use to clean homes and that type of thing. So we have different things to stabilize the whole internal system of the allergens. What goes in comes out.
Exactly. So the cans are
So the
what?
cans-
Something good for that?
The cans are outstanding for the gluten. It's gluten-free.
So what about these things, these chews in here?
Okay, the chews being a high protein, we're talking about reference to higher protein, and then we have the freeze-dried and or dehydrated sweet potatoes to give them the extra hit with the vitamin C to help maybe counterbalance any ailments.
Exactly, exactly.
Yogurt to line the tummy for the sensitive tummies, our products to counterbalance the glucose level and the other issues.
Yeah, and of course we know, guys, that Sherry is from Barking Dog Bakery and Bill Bonadillo has Papadillos, which I love. It's a people place, an Italian, great food, and we have great food here too. You know what we'd like to do is send these items home with you for Rufus and for the group. Can we do that?
We would love that.
Good. Well, I
Aren't
think
we? Don't
Sherry
we?
and Bill would be glad to donate those. And
Yes, thank you so
We
much.
welcome you. You know, anytime that you want to come on and let us know. Cases like Rufus are a really big thing, guys, and as is every issue that we discuss here. So let us know if you have an issue that you think is important. Let us know and we'll find out. We'll do our research. We'll bring on the important people who have authority in each of the issues, and we'll get all the information out. Plus, we'll be eating great dog food because we can eat it.
Yes.
That's right.
Did you hear that?
It's food for our dogs.
Have a piece of this and just see if that's good. See, is this good? Hand one of these to the ladies. I bet they love it too. Is that good, Micah?
meat, though, right?
I don't eat meat, but I
Let
know
me
that
kidnap
everybody
another
else
piece.
does, and I don't blame them for that. Guys, we'll talk to you later. Have a great show next week. So be advised, we're going to be on, and watch us.
Dogs. We're talking about dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about little dogs, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging hole, thing like that. Dogs. Talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs. Dogs. Just talking about dogs. Lost and alone, running the street, checking the garbage, looking to eat. Out there sad and on their own.